Hello and welcome to Charlie's Desk. I have the reader, the scanning stand on the desk today. I'm gonna jump more into the academic work I'm doing that's based on dialectical behavioral therapy. So the title of the whole work is, dialectical approaches to orientation and mobility. And this is Interpersonal Effectiveness Skills for Advocacy by Charlie Barnes. That's me. Okay, so for Lisa, without whom none of this would have been possible. There goes my printer. I'm just gonna hold for 1 second while it finishes. Oh dear. Okay, Interpersonal Effectiveness Skills for Advocacy. Introduction. The interpersonal world can be difficult to navigate for anyone. It is frequently incumbent on the individual with blindness or visual impairment to advocate for themselves to a public with limited understanding of blindness-related issues. How is an individual to maneuver tricky situations while obtaining their objectives as skillfully as possible, building positive relationships, and maintaining their self-respect? I'll read it again because I butchered it a little bit. How is an individual to maneuver tricky situations while obtaining their objectives as skillfully as possible, building positive relationships, and maintaining their self-respect? The following pages suggest a skills-based approach for equipping individuals to cope effectively with difficult interpersonal situations. And then why teach interpersonal effectiveness skills as a part of orientation and mobility instruction? Interpersonal effectiveness skills fall under the purview of orientation and mobility instruction because interaction with the public is essential for safe and independent travel. This instructor frequently encounters the notion that asking for help is incompatible with independence. It is my sincere belief that asking for help is an essential component and potent demonstration of that very quality. Tolerating the frustrations of an invalidating environment becomes a necessary talent in the lives of so many persons with disabilities. The purpose of teaching these skills is to equip ourselves with the ability to skillfully negotiate complicated interpersonal situations arising from commonly held misconceptions about and attitudes towards people who are different. All right, and then as Tuttle and Tuttle, right? Maybe some of you are familiar with Tuttle and Tuttle, remind us. Feelings of differentness often precipitate problems with self-concept and self-esteem, right? So when you lose your vision, your self-concept can change and your self-esteem can take a hit in the beginning. All right, so here are the lesson summaries for this thing that I teach, which is based on Marsha Linehan's work, Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. Marsha, I hope this is okay. Lesson summaries. Clarifying priorities. I did buy your book, multiple copies, Marsha. Clarifying priorities. How important is getting what you want or obtaining your goal? Keeping the relationship. Maintaining your self-respect. Objectives effectiveness. Dear man. Be effective in asserting your rights and wishes. Relationship effectiveness. Give. Act in such a way that you maintain positive relationships and that others feel good about you. Others feel good about themselves and you. Self-respect effectiveness. Fast. Act in such a way that you keep your self-respect. And then finally, as factors to consider, decide how firm or intense you want to be in asking for something or saying no. And since I can't firmly ask these birds to silence themselves, I'll close the window before moving on to the next lesson. Yeah, so that's these 5 lesson summaries that are here: clarifying priorities, objectives effectiveness, relationship effectiveness, self-respect effectiveness, and factors to consider. All right, clarifying priorities in interpersonal situations. Objectives effectiveness, getting what you want from another person. So this is like for if you're objective, right? Getting what you want, being effective with your objective, okay? So this could involve obtaining your legitimate rights, getting another person to do something you want that person to do, saying no to an unwanted or unreasonable request, resolving an interpersonal conflict, getting your opinion or point of view taken seriously. And then the questions are, what specific results or changes do I want from this interaction? And what do I have to do? Question 2, what do I have to do to get the results? What will work? All right. And then for relationship effectiveness, keeping and improving the relationship, let's clarify our priorities. Okay, so acting in such a way that the other person keeps liking and respecting you, right? Don't want to burn bridges. Balancing immediate goals with the good of the long-term relationship, and then maintaining relationships that matter to you. All right, now the question is, how do I want the other person to feel about me after the interaction is over, whether or not I get the results or changes I want? Important question. What do I have to do to get or keep this relationship? All right, now we move on to self-respect, effectiveness, keeping or improving self-respect, respecting your own values and your beliefs, acting in a way that makes you feel moral, acting in a way that makes you feel capable and effective. Questions. How do I want to feel about myself after the interaction is over, whether or not I get the results or changes I want? What do I have to do to feel that way about myself, and what will work? All right, so we want to clarify our priorities first. What do I want out of these situations before we go making a plan? Objectives, effectiveness, dear man. Okay, so guideline for objectives, effectiveness, getting what you want, dear man. A way to remember these skills is to remember the term dear man, which stands for describe, express, assert, reinforce, stay, in parentheses, mindful, appear confident, and negotiate. All right, so I'll read a little example. Okay, and the first sentence is like the skill, and the second sentence is the example. It's a scenario which hopefully will become clear as I read it. It's not the best scenario. You can apply it to many things. It's sort of a lame one, but I just picked it because I feel like it makes it clear. All right, so describe, express, assert, reinforce, stay mindful, appear confident, and negotiate. This is how to get what you want. All right, describe the current situation if necessary. Stick to the facts. Tell the person exactly what you were reacting to. To do my job most effectively, I need access to specific assistive technology that I don't have access to currently. Express your feelings and opinions about the situation. Don't assume that the other person knows how you feel. Use phrases such as I want instead of you should, I don't want instead of you shouldn't. I would feel empowered to do my job as effectively as I know I am capable of with access to the JAWS screen reader program installed on my work computer. Assert yourself by asking for what you want or saying no clearly. Do not assume that others will figure out what you want. Very important. Remember that others cannot read your mind. I would be happy to provide guidance on the best way of obtaining this necessary program at no cost through a state agency. Reinforce, reward the person ahead of time, so to speak, by explaining the positive effects of getting what you want or need. If necessary, also clarify the negative consequences of not getting what you want or need, right? You can go either way, honey or vinegar, right? I would be so relieved to have access to JAWS. I would be even more motivated to do my job to the best of my ability. Or it will be difficult for me to be as effective as I know I can be and have work to be without access to this accommodation. All these pages are cited too, guys. I'm just not going to read the citations every time because it ruins the flow. So I'll put them in the description. All right, so that's the dear, right? You described, expressed, asserted, and reinforced. Hopefully that'll work, but if it didn't, now we're going to move on to sort of the negotiation, which is the part, okay, the man part. Stay mindful. Keep your focus on your goals. Maintain your position. Don't be distracted. Don't get off topic. Broken record. Keep asking, saying no, or expressing your opinion over and over and over. Just keep playing the same thing again and again and again. Ignore attacks. If another person attacks, threatens, or tries to change the subject, ignore the threats, comments, or attempts to divert you. Do not respond to attacks, ignore distractions. Just keep making your point. I would still like access to an accommodation that will enable me to work effectively. Appear confident. Appear effective and competent. Use a confident voice tone and physical manner. Make good eye contact. No stammering, whispering, staring at the floor, retreating, no saying I'm not sure, etc. Negotiate. Be willing to give to get. Offer and ask for other solutions to the problem. Reduce your request. Say no, but offer to do something else or solve the problem another way. Focus on what will work. Turn the tables. Turn the problem over to the other person. Ask for other solutions. Would I be able to conduct my work business on my personal computer, which has accessibility technology? Or turning the tables, what do you think we should do? I am just not sure how I will achieve certain work objectives without access. All right, so that's Dear Man. Moving on. Relationship effectiveness. Give. Guidelines for relationship effectiveness. Keeping the relationship. Give. A way to remember these skills is to remember the word give. Dear man, give. All right, and there's a lot of parentheses in this one, and just forgive the acronym thing. So I'll say parentheses, be gentle, parentheses, act interested, validate, parentheses, use an easy manner. So gentle, interested, validate, easy manner for keeping relationships. Be gentle, be nice and respectful. Express anger directly and with words. If you have to describe painful consequences for not getting what you want, describe them calmly and without exaggerating. No manipulative statements, no hidden threats. Tolerate a no. Stay in the discussion even if it gets painful. Exit gracefully. No judging, no moralizing. No, if you were a good person, you would. No, you should or you shouldn't. Abandon blame. No sneering, no smirking, eye rolling, sucking teeth. No cutting off or walking away. No saying that's stupid, don't be sad, I don't care what you say. Right? That can alienate people, folks. Act interested. And I know this is obvious, but this is a way to evaluate your own self and see if something's going on. Act interested. Listen and appear interested in the other person. Listen to the other person's point of view. Face the person, lean towards the person rather than away. Don't interrupt or talk over the person. Be sensitive to the person's wish to have the discussion at a later time. Great strategy. And be patient. And then validate. This is so important. With words and actions, show that you understand the other person's feelings and thoughts about the situation. See the world from the other person's point of view. And then say or act on what you see. I realize this is hard for you, and I see that you are busy, and go to a private place when the person is uncomfortable talking in a public place. All right, and then use an easy manner, use a little humor, smile, ease the person along, be lighthearted, sweet talk, use soft sell over the hard sell, be political, and leave your attitude at the door. So, just for maintaining relationships, and it could be like, a co-working relationship, it could be a caregiver relationship, it could be a way to sort of evaluate what's going on with another person. It's like, oh, they're not being gentle, or they don't seem interested, or they're not validating me. So it can go either way. All right, we're almost there, folks. I'm just going through this fast. And then I'll maybe make individual videos for each one, but I want to do a full course overview. All right, interpersonal effectiveness skills for advocacy, self-respect effectiveness fast. This is one of my favorites. Guidelines for self-respect effectiveness. Keeping respect for yourself fast. A way to remember these skills is to remember the word fast. Dear man, give fast. All right. Parentheses, be fair. Parentheses, no apologies. Stick to values. Parentheses, be truthful. All right. So fair, no apologies. Stick to values. Be truthful. All right. Be fair. Be fair to yourself and the other person. Remember to validate your own feelings and wishes as well as the other person's. No apologies. Don't over apologize. No apologizing for being alive or for making a request at all. No apologies for having an opinion, for disagreeing. No looking ashamed with eyes and head down or body slump. No invalidating the valid. Stick to your values. Stick to your own values. Don't sell out your values or integrities for reasons that aren't very important. Like if you're in physical danger, sure, sell out your values, say what you need to say. But don't sell out your values or integrity for reasons that aren't very important, okay? Be clear on what you believe is the moral or valued way of thinking and acting, and stick to your guns. And then be truthful. Don't lie. Don't act helpless when you are not. And don't exaggerate or make up excuses. All right, so that's 4. And then factors to consider. All right, the last one. Factors to consider. When deciding how firm or intense you want to be in asking or saying no, think about 1. The other person's or your own capability. 2. Your priorities. 3. The effect of your actions on your self-respect. 4. Your or the other person's moral or legal rights in the situation. 5. Your authority over the person or his or hers over you. 6. The type of relationship you have with the person. 7. The effect of your action on long versus short-term goals. 8. The degree of give and take in your relationship. 9. Whether you have done your homework to prepare. 10. The timing of your request or refusal. Very important. 1. So each of these 10 things has a couple questions associated with it that you can ask yourself to help decide whether this is a good time to ask or how to plan, your, in the kindest way possible, your plan of attack, right? Your communication, what you're going to do. Okay, so 1, capability. Is the person able to give you what you want? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Do you have what the person wants? If no, raise the intensity of the no. 2, priorities. Are your goals very important? Increase intensity. Is your relationship shaky? Consider reducing intensity. Is your self-respect on the line? Intensity should fit your values. Self-respect. Do you usually do things for yourself? Are you careful to avoid acting helpless when you are not? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Will saying no make you feel bad about yourself, even when you are thinking about it wisely? If no, raise the intensity of no. 4, rights. Is the person required by law or moral code to give you what you want? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Are you required to give the person what he or she is asking for? Would saying no violate the other person's rights? If no, raise the intensity of the no. 5, authority. Are you responsible for directing the person or telling the person what to do? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Does the person have authority over you, e.g. your boss, your teacher? And is what the person is asking within his or her authority? If no, raise the intensity of no. 6, relationship. Is what you want appropriate to the current relationship? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Is what the person asking for appropriate to your current relationship? If no, raise the intensity of the no. 7, long-term versus short-term goals. Will not asking for what you want keep the peace now but create problems in the long term? If yes, raise the intensity of the asking. That's a good one. Is giving into the peace right now more important than long-term welfare of the relationship? Is giving in to keep the peace right now more important than the long-term welfare of the relationship? Will you eventually regret or resent saying no? If no, raise the intensity of the no. Give and take. What have you done for the person? Are you giving at least as much as you ask for? Are you willing to give if the person says yes? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Do you owe this person a favor? Does he or she do a lot for you? If no, raise the intensity of the no. 9, homework. Have you done your homework? Do you know all the facts you need to know to support your request? Are you clear about what you want? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Is the other person's request clear? Do you know what you're agreeing to? If no, raise the intensity of no. Timing. Is this a good time to ask? Is the person in the mood for listening and paying attention to you? Are you catching the person when he or she is likely to say yes to your request? If yes, raise the intensity of asking. Is this a bad time to say no? Should you hold off answering for a while? If no, raise the intensity of the no. All right, and you made it to the very end of the introduction to this interpersonal effectiveness skills for advocacy, adapted for persons with vision impairments, from the work of Marsha Linehan by myself. Please comment, ask questions, make corrections, come up with new examples. Thank you for watching Charlie's Desk. Happy 4th of July, folks. I mean, independence is a good thing in our personal lives. We should strive for it. It's a complicated day, but I hope everyone has a nice time. trying to be with their loved ones. Gosh, it's complicated to say something nice these days. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.